Hello, my name is Paxton Brooks, and I'm here to talk about my creative project for this semester. The creative project that I decided to create was a Zentangle project. A little bit of history of the Zentangle. This art form originated around 2003. It's focused on relaxing, focusing, and being present in the moment as you're creating this project. The definition of Zentangle, it quite literally translates to piece tangled up. It's a process where you allow your mind and your body to become one and you don't really think about what you're creating. It's more of live and let live type of process. It focuses, it's quite literally called, in some forms, called artistic meditation, where you use mindfulness to create the project. The supplies that I used to create my Zentangle, I had some old watercolor brushes lying around. Regular Crayola markers will supplement the same way. And the only other thing you need is just a black Sharpie pen or a nice pen you can use to create your project. Here is my finished project. As you can see, each segment has a different pattern in each little area. I use the markers to color the background. That is entirely optional. I like using color. A lot of the Zentangles you'll see, they use just simply a black pen on a white background. But the patterns you create kind of create these segments and whatnot, in which you use to fill up all the other patterns. The hardest part that I found was trying to accept past mistakes. A lot of the Zentangle process, they use Sharpie pens and things you can't erase and all that type of stuff where you just have to follow the process. So if you make a mistake, you have to be very creative in the way you cover it up, or you just accept it and you move on. I feel like that's a very similar process with meditation, where you do find yourself getting distracted and all these sorts of things, and you have to accept that happen. You can't change what just happened, but you can only move on from that. I worked on it every day as different segments and stuff. Different things, I would work on the entire background and I would knock out 2 or 3 segments if time allowed. Sometimes I'd only have the time to do a leaf or 2, but I found it really easy with my schedule, especially where I could dedicate about 10-15 minutes during the day, which is a lot of time with my busy schedule, to knock out these different segments. Trying to come up with the different, how I came up with the different pattern ideas. I looked around in nature. For example, when I thought of the water, I thought of tadpoles. So these little guys right here kind of look like little tadpoles. I also was struck by nature, so I did a cow print design of a sort, and even just looking around my dining room table where it had like this kind of textured look I did in the sky. I really just looked around and it really brought me present within that moment, which I found very therapeutic. The takeaway personally, after, like I said, I only had about 10-15 minutes on average to work on it, but I did find myself being, I guess, a little bit more recentered, where I was drawn to the things around me. I was looking in the environment around me for different patterns, and I felt very centered and gravitated in the moment, which is exactly what the Zentangle wants you to do. It was really, really energizing. I was able to, since I was already recentered in the moment, I would often do this, my Zentangle, before I would start with my homework assignments, papers, whatnot, and I'd find that I was able to focus up a little bit better, and that was very beneficial for me. Implications for healthcare, again, mindfulness, being present within the moment. Also often as nurses, we go into patients' room and we're trying to check off these boxes, but taking a moment, regathering ourselves, recentering ourselves, and being present. What can I truly do for this patient? What is their needs? And I feel like Zentangle is probably one of the best ways to be able to describe that is you are growing past your mistakes. When you make a mistake in Sharpie pen, you can't do anything to change that. However, you can do something to grow past your mistakes, to turn them into something that is beautiful. And I find that throughout my creative project, that's something that I'll take with me is we are human, we are capable, and we'll make so many mistakes in our practice. But what we choose to take out of mistakes is what makes us nurses.